Hi, what's up, y'all? My name is Coach Indy, and today I wanted to talk about not being motivated. Let me turn this off. There you go. Maybe that'll cut down on some noise. But I wanted to talk about not being motivated and what you can do in order to help with that because I noticed that with running challenge groups, working with various women, working with women that are in the medical field and they're in nursing and they work long shifts, working with moms that have like a lot on their plate, whether that be, um, they have a spouse, they have kids to tend to. They also have a career to tend to. Maybe they're in school, just a lot going on, basically. And then there's just life problems in general that can get in the way of your fitness goals. There's literally anything can get in the way of your fitness goals if you let it. So I want to kind of talk about like how to get past that. And if you're watching this on replay, give me a hashtag replay because most of you guys will be watching this on replay. It's 9:20 Central Time here in Texas, so I know y'all are on other time zones elsewhere and things like that. So give me a hashtag replay. If you get value from this, then drop a heart down below. So, yeah, one of the hardest things to do in a fitness journey is basically speak that truth, Indy, always dropping wisdom and life success hacks. I'm trying, man. I'm not perfect myself, but I feel like I have something that could help somebody else overcome their obstacles. So that's the whole purpose. But I feel like so many people, they have like a hard time with just getting started, or if they fall off, then they feel like, oh, well, now I can't, do what it is that I had set out to do. And that's just not true because you're going to have so many setbacks. You're going to have so much on your plate all the time. It's kind of learning how to navigate life's obstacles and still have the fitness journey. And I can say that, like, one of the hardest times of my life was moving from Georgia to Texas, and my kids live in Georgia. So there would be days where, like, I felt like I could not even breathe. Like, it just was like this heaviness in my chest and in my stomach where it felt like I couldn't even like expand my lungs like big enough to even take a deep breath. So I understand going through hard times is basically what I'm trying to say. I understand that when your like back is up against the wall, you have a lot going on, that it can seem unfathomable and unimaginable to even be on a fitness journey. And so in those instances, in those cases, sometimes you do have to just let life and get through that journey and then pick up later. So it depends on the severity of like what's going on in your life. So I try to have a lot of grace and compassion when people come to me with their problems and they're like, I'm going through this. And I feel like I can't even go to the gym. Like, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I get it. Only you know how much is too much to have on your plate. Um, and no one else can really decide that for you. I know that recently, since sharing my story about being like a long distance parent, I've had other women come and tell me about their story about being a long distance parent and um, like what they're going through a divorce or going through custody battles and things like that. And so it's like, it's so interesting, what life can put you through, and then you end up coming out through the other side. I'm a little bit going off on a tangent, but my whole point is it depends on what you have going on. If it's just like regular work and regular family stuff that's going on, then maybe it's a matter of schedule. Maybe it's a matter of, okay, maybe you're not going to be disciplined, or maybe you're not going to be motivated all the time, because motivation is really like a myth. Like, there's really no such thing as motivation, to be honest with you. But being really for real, A lot of times it comes down to discipline and schedule and having habits built up and having some accountability, like whether that's an accountability buddy, a friend, a coach. If you share your journey publicly, that can also help hold you accountable. It helps me tremendously to be able to share my fitness journey publicly with people. Um, but they taught us in exercise science to build the good habits first. If you can get through weeks, then falling in love with it comes later. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's more habit based and more discipline based and more setting it in your schedule and setting it your intentions and making things like a non-negotiable that is more important than having motivation because 99.9% of the time you are not going to be motivated regardless of what you got going on in your life. Now, there are like some mental health things that there's been people that they may have like something severely mental health going on that exercise is not always a cure for mental health. I know like some people would be like, "Oh, well, are you exercising or are you eating right? Maybe you wouldn't be depressed if you exercise and eat right." Not everything can be fixed with exercise and nutrition. It does help though, compared to if you're not doing the fitness and nutrition. But I don't want to be that person to tell somebody, like, if they're going through something like super severe or dealing with suicidal ideation or something like super severe, that, oh, you're just supposed to push through that. Oh, you're just supposed to, you know, I don't know, go to the gym even if you want to like oof yourself. Like that's not my place. So that's why I'm saying like there's levels to this. But what I would encourage you to do is if you're just going through regular old life stuff, then get yourself a planner or use Google Calendar, um, and put in your work days first, whatever it is, days at work, events, birthdays, whatever the heck you have coming up. Put everything in first, doctor's appointments, and then look and see, okay, what days do I have that I can work out? And I don't want you to have like an all or nothing mentality. Um, Maybe you start out with 2 30-minute workouts per week. And then you like gradually build from there. Maybe when you first start your fitness journey, you just start going on a walk. Maybe that's a 10-minute walk. And then you gradually build from there. So that's another thing that kind of gets under my skin or that I wish people didn't really do is have a all or nothing mentality because I feel you. I feel you trying to like hold all the marbles. Like you're like, oh, I got to meal prep. I gotta track my food. I gotta go to the gym like all at once when you literally started from zero, you started from nothing. Like you didn't have any nutrition habits, you didn't have any fitness habits. And then all of a sudden you want to do all of the things. Like I don't want you to feel like you've got this huge burden to carry, but it's more so of like building momentum, stacking your wins, um, and building on the small wins, like, and then also having like non-fitness or non-scale victories. So like a non-scale victory is like, oh, my clothes are fitting better. Maybe the scale hasn't changed, but my clothes are fitting better, meaning I'm losing inches. Building on small wins could be like, oh, I went for a 10-minute walk today, or I ate vegetables, and normally I don't touch vegetables. And so you want to keep building on that momentum and just getting like 1% better every day, essentially. If you can do more, great. But a lot of people, they think that consistency looks like giving your 100% every day when you're giving your 100% is going to change. Like one day giving your all is just literally getting out of bed, putting on gym clothes, pulling up to the gym, taking that pre-workout, which I highly recommend, by the way, taking some pre-workout because a lot of you complain about, I don't have enough energy. Girl, you're never going to have enough energy. You better take some caffeine and go and do your workout. But you take your pre-workout, you go into the gym, and you just say to yourself, I'm going to at least do 10 minutes. And then once you got that 10 minutes worth of like endorphins and sweat and feeling better, then you want to stay longer. So your best is going to look different. Maybe you only do the 10 minutes and you leave, but at least you did the 10 minutes. It's still better than zero. So, like I said, your best is going to look different every day. It's going to be different. And another thing that I wanted to point out is, since a lot of people that I coach have been in the medical field and you're working 12-hour shifts and stuff like that, then a really good thing to do is not put so much pressure on yourself to work out every single day. Maybe you start out twice a week, or something of that nature. I know for me, because I work 3 12-hour shifts a week, I may make it to the gym twice a week and then maybe walk the other days. But when I am at the gym, I'm there for a long time. Like, I can be in the gym for a very long time. Like, I remember this one person at the gym that he would see me, he'd be like, "How long have you been here?" And then one time I was like, "5 hours." And he's like, "Damn, what demons are you fighting?" And so, like, when I'm at the gym, I like to make my time count. So that's like another strategy, is maybe you don't have a whole lot of days of the week, but maybe when you are there, you can bring some intensity. You can make sure you're not lollygagging, that you actually feel your workouts, that you're not just on your phone the entire time, that you're actually doing the reps, you're picking a weight that's actually heavy. And basically just being intentional with your time when you are there. Um, so hopefully that will help some of my medical field people. Is you ain't got to go 5 days a week to the gym, because I know that especially us night shift people, we like to sleep. Like, you are freaking burnt out from working a 12, 13-hour shift, and our job is not only hard on our bodies, but our job is also like mentally taxing as well, because we take care of people when they're at their absolute worst. And whenever people are at their absolute worst, they're not always the nicest. I know. So I try to have some compassion for my patients, because it's like, okay, damn, I'm taking care of them when this is the worst time of their life. They've never been in the hospital before. And so they might be a little cranky because their life has just been flipped upside down. So sometimes we're like pouring from an empty cup, like no one's really pouring into you. So that's where self-care comes in. And part of your self-care is paying attention to what you put in your body, paying attention to your fitness journey as well. Because if you take care of your body and you take care of your nutrition, and then you have self-care outside of your fitness as well, then it becomes a lot easier to take care of your patients too. So I hope this helps. I've been live for like 15 minutes now. So just to like kind of go over and everything. So if you got some value from this, drop some hearts down below. If you're watching this on replay, give me a hashtag replay. But the main things that I was trying to go over is not having an all or nothing mentality. Maybe you start to build momentum with something as simple as walking. Walking is one of my favorites because it's literally one foot in front of the other. And almost anybody can do walking. So build momentum, start small, stack your wins. So even if you got to write down, like, okay, I woke up today and I put my gym clothes on, I took my pre workout, and I had something healthy for breakfast. Build on that momentum of like, okay, I ate something healthy for breakfast. Now I want to do something else healthy for myself. Having non-scale victories. My clothes are fitting better. I have more energy. I can play with my kids. I feel sexier with no clothes on. Those are all non-scale victories. Celebrate those as well. Know that motivation is a myth. It almost is non-existent. Like motivation, like I said, it's almost non-existent. It's literally a myth. You're almost never going to be motivated. So more so it comes down to discipline and planning. Also, yeah, make sure you're planning your actual workouts, because then if you've planned your workouts, it's kind of hard to be like, not do it. Because it's like you literally told yourself that you had that time because you weren't working, you didn't have a doctor's appointment, you didn't have nothing going on, you already had set that time aside, and now look at you. so make sure you're scheduling your workout, staying disciplined. Energy is a huge thing when it comes to motivation or discipline. So get you a pre-workout, take the caffeine, because as a mother, as a spouse, as a healthcare worker, whoever you are, whatever responsibilities you have on your plate, you're never going to have enough energy. As women, we're constantly pouring into other people's cups. And I know there's like quite a few men that I've had on this live. So I'll say, as men, you have the responsibility of X, Y, and Z too. So that means you have to give yourself the energy, which is your sleep, get enough sleep, at least 6 hours. 8 would be great, but at least 6 would be great. And then taking your pre-workout, you're going to need the extra boost. And creatine, bro, you need creatine too. So, yeah, make sure you're doing your creatine. It's going to help you hit some PRs and build muscle a lot easier. So yeah, what else did I want to say before I exit the live? Did y'all have any questions? Schedule, supplements, no such thing as motivation. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. Okay, so I wanted to talk about mindset a little bit, because another thing that I notice is that so many people will just try to, will try to add in fitness and nutrition in their life, but like they don't work on up here. Like literally, if you think about if your body is a vehicle, then up here is the driver. So the body just does what the driver tells it to do. It's your body is just like a vehicle. Like it can't just like mindlessly do things. Like you have to work on up here in order to be in the right headspace to do what it is that you had set out to do. So what I recommend is finding a podcast, finding a audiobook, finding something, motivational speaker, I don't know. You're going to have to do something. Daily affirmations, gratitude, something. Like you can't just be out here and not think that you can't think you're not going to work on your mindset in some way, shape, or form and have a successful fitness journey. Hopefully that came out right, because my brain dyslexia be dyslexiaing sometimes. But yeah, you're gonna have to work on something in some way, shape, or form, capacity of mindset in order to be on this for the long haul. And then the other thing is something spiritual too. So not just mindset, but spiritual. Because I used to attract a lot of clients that were Christian in the past. And they would think that, oh, if I read my Bible, then that's something mindset. That's me working on my mindset when they're two completely separate things. I feel like you need to believe in a higher power because when life hits, like obviously the gym is not going to solve your problems, right? So believing in something higher than yourself is going to help a lot working on that spirituality, right? But just know that mindset and spirituality are two completely different things. Okay, one's more psychology, positive psychology, and spirituality, two separate things. Hopefully that makes sense. But you're going to have to work on both. In my opinion, you have to believe in something outside of yourself because, like I said, fitness ain't going to solve your problems. You're going to feel better after you work out. You really will. You're going to feel better once after you work out, but it does not solve your life problems. And then you need some type of mindset training in order to stay on this journey for the long haul. All right, 20 minutes. I'm done, y'all. I hope you guys have a good night. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to be in the challenge that I'm currently doing in October, then give me a hashtag ThickFit down below, and I will answer any questions, DMs about the challenge. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye. Coach Indy signing out. Cheese.